Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us live again for Live with NAWBO DC. I'm so excited. We're doing this twice a month, every the second and fourth Thursday. We're actually going live with a NAWBO board member to talk about different aspects of NAWBO. So I'm so glad you guys could join us today. We have a special guest star that I'm really excited about, and she's going to join us in a minute. Before we jump in to talk to her, I wanted to talk about a few things. As you all may have heard, we're in the middle of our membership drive. And what that means is that we have specials for joining NAWBO at this time. We do this twice a year. And I love sharing NAWBO with everybody because I think it's such an amazing organization. I also know that right now there's never been a more critical time for women business owners to experience the connections, inspiration, education, resources, and advocacy that are the power of NAWBO. So we'd like to personally invite you, those of you who aren't members, to join our chapter. This is the Greater DC chapter. If you're looking at us from another chapter or another area of the country, please take a look at your chapter. Let us know if you don't know who you would belong to. But we'd like to invite you to join us during our membership drive, which runs through October 31st. And in the membership drive, new members can take $45 off the initiation fee in honor of NAWBO's 45th anniversary. You use code FALLDRIVE20, all caps, when signing up at nawbo.org. And I'm really excited to have today's guest, elle patout, I'm saying that, elle patout. She's with NAWBO National, and she's in charge of our advocacy efforts as the Director of Public Relations. And I think that one of the benefits that a nationwide organization such as NAWBO brings to the table is that not only do we help women business owners grow professionally and personally, but we also have branches and arms and people who advocate for women business owners in the political realm. And I think that's so important as an organization. And I love that that's what NAWBO brings to the table for me personally and for other members of our chapters. So I'm so excited to have Elle here and chat with us. She's going to talk a little bit about what she does and how she does it, and the upcoming election and why it's important to vote. So let's have Elle join us. Hi, Elle.
Everyone. Hi, it's great to be here. I'm so excited to see everyone. You know, I often find that, especially during the pandemic, I haven't been able to get out to chapters. So I've missed seeing everyone in person, but I'm glad to be here right now. You know, it's a time that's really important. It's the 100th anniversary. I'm sure you've seen it on our NAWBO, on everything that we're writing about this election cycle. It's the 100th anniversary of the ratification of the 19th Amendment. I think it underscores, you know, how important it is to get out and vote. Right now, I've been working on your behalf to try to convince lawmakers to have another round of coronavirus relief. And I just wanted to give you just a little update on that. You know, we're working really hard. I'm sure you've seen in the news, Speaker Pelosi and the White House are still in negotiations. I believe the White House Chief of Staff Meadows said they're hoping to have something in the next 48 hours. Unfortunately, you know, it's a contentious time. I wouldn't pretend to say that I have a crystal ball. So what I can say, though, is that they are talking, and the Senate did vote earlier this week on just a standalone PPP bill that didn't pass. And yesterday they voted on another a smaller relief package than what the House has voted on. But that Senate bill didn't pass either. So we're waiting on the negotiations between the White House and Speaker Pelosi, and I'll keep y'all updated on that. But the most important thing you can do this month, and it's crazy, it's the end of October. We're already here. I feel like we flash forward. I feel like this year went on like speed. It's happened so fast. But next month is the election, and I'm in Arlington. I know we're all in the DC area. I've already gotten out and voted. That's the most important thing you can do these next couple weeks. It is the anniversary of the ratification of the 19th Amendment, but it's also a time that we should all just really remember as we celebrate to also do it. We can't just celebrate. We've got to go out and do it. And Lisa, I know that you think this is just as important as I do, but is there, I know your chapters, I'm sure y'all are all working on stuff to get people out to vote, But at NAWBO National, we're just encouraging everyone talk to, we're within 6 feet of each other, but we can still remind each other. So that's kind of where we are.
It is. We're actually within our chapter, we're reminding people to vote on social media. We're sharing videos. We just put up one by Diana Dibble, who's our
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
Oh,
okay.
Apple Watch. Apple
Watch.
Right? Something triggered it.
I'll say Alexa, and I've got my Kindle, and I'm telling my, my Alexa, or I'll look for something on my on my TV with my Fire Stick, and my Kindle talk back to me like, what is going on here?
Apparently, Siri really wanted to know about Diana's initiative.
I know, right? It was exciting. So yeah, so we're just trying to get the word out to encourage everybody to vote. And I think since you've done it, any tips on early voting? I know that if you've requested an absentee ballot, you have to bring that with you if you're going to go in person.
Correct. Yeah. And what if for members that are in the Arlington County area, they have online, you can look up, you can go to vote.org, you can go to a bunch of different websites, you can go to the county website. I found that there was a recreation center near my house, and they're open from 2 to 7 p.m. during the week, and then 9 to 7 p.m. on the weekends. And I just popped out. I didn't have any calls. I was able to sneak out for just a few minutes, and it took me less than 20 minutes. The line was super quick.
Great. I've been seeing everybody, all my friends actually posting about going out to vote in the line. So I think it's important. We can't stress it enough to get out and vote, make your voice heard. However you're going to vote, get out and do it. That's the important part. So I appreciate all of the messaging that we're doing about that, and hopefully everybody can find, get out to their place, even if they wait till election day. Is there a concern that the polls are going to be too crowded on election day, or so what?
I think everybody's kind of wondering what's going to happen on election day. I can say that I think, the country as a whole has tried to do a really good job of putting the word out there about early voting. So I would say if you have a minute to do it early, why not check it off your list? We're an advocacy organization. We're here, we're doing, we are working on your behalf. But also we need to recognize that vote is your voice too. We can talk to lawmakers about what we need. We can talk about the coronavirus relief. But at the end of the day, what you can physically do right now is get out and vote. Gotcha. Make your voice heard.
Yep. So true. So true. And I think that's what's so important about it. So I am going to actually switch gears a little bit and say, I know you guys have been talking a lot about PPP and business relief loans. Has that been your major focus in terms of advocacy efforts over the past, 6 to 9 months, since March, basically? So,
there have been a lot of issues. One of the things, I think PPP, from just a small business owner standpoint, it's something that people can relate to. So I think it's something that I often bring up solely because I know that many of people have received the help, and all the bills moving forward have been talking about another round of help. A lot of them, what they're talking about would be looking at your revenue threshold. So you may not just get PPP in another round, you would have to actually have a revenue decline, and different bills have different thresholds. So I'm not going to go into the nitty gritty of it all, but we're also talking about, the importance of broadband. We've been talking to lawmakers about, look at where we are, look at what we're all virtual. Everybody's working. A lot of people are still virtual right now, or they're utilizing it more than ever. We're talking about affordable and reliable broadband across the country, because a lot of rural areas, so I had trouble getting on conference calls at the beginning of all of this, and I'm right outside of DC. So I think that's another thing that we're talking about. We're also talking about healthcare. We're talking to lawmakers about the importance of affordable healthcare for small business owners. It isn't just affordable healthcare. It's also looking at other avenues, making sure they recognize the need for telemedicine, looking at, how the insurance is working, what's working for small business owners, what's not. That's another thing that we're discussing. Another thing that we realized in the first round of relief was that there wasn't enough in the regulatory process where they spoke to women and minorities. And that's another thing that we've been talking to lawmakers about, how when you start to create rules for all these laws that are written by Congress, then it goes to the regulators and they're writing out all these rules, and they're not realizing that what they're writing impacts women and minorities different than it impacts other business owners. So that's something that we've been talking about. And, in the end of all this, we want there to be some bipartisan oversight. We need to know what programs worked, what programs didn't. That's also something that, we're talking to them about as well.
Wow, that is a lot. It's amazing. And it sounds like you have your hands full. And so do you feel in talking to them about how the laws affect women and minorities, that's a part of a diversity and inclusion initiative? Is that how that?
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. Yeah. I think the lawmakers don't realize that, women are risk averse. We're not, I hate to put a blanket on every woman business owner is different, but a vast majority are risk averse. They're not going to want to go out and take out this huge loan. And lawmakers need to realize that look at the demographics. Women and minorities, they don't want to take on a lot of debt. They also may not have the relationship with the bank. We've done a lot of surveys through NAWBO National, and we found that, the last survey that we did around the end of July, early August, there were about 40% it was 38 to be exact, 38% of the respondents said that, they are worried about their business. And, right then we were talking about if we had to go into quarantine again. And what they were saying was, listen, I'd have 3 to 9 months. So if we quarantine, yeah, we may come out of it, but we may not last very long. Yeah. And I think, lawmakers need to realize that if we don't have a relationship with a bank, when you put a program together and the access to capital is through a bank, we need to realize that they needed, I think they've tried to, moving forward, look at other avenues, go to, other avenues besides banks to get this financing, but it's something that they didn't. And they worked their hardest. Everybody was doing things within a matter of days. Yeah. Upstanding programs within a matter of days. So there was bound to be some kinks. But I think now we need to make sure that they understand how women are utilizing capital. Are we using our credit cards more? Is it something that, is that something that we should look at for relief? So those are the kinds of things that I think women and minorities we also just need to have our voices at the forefront. And we'll continue to work and do that.
That is so interesting. And I will tell you that when I went to Advocacy Day in 2019, one of the things they talked a lot about women and access to capital. And I don't know if it was just the Small Business Administration, but there were other agencies there too. And it was staggering how few women business owners access capital. I think was it like in the single digits that we, for investors? And so I was trying to explain to someone recently why. And I said, I think we just aren't used to it. We're too self-reliant. We don't think that we need it. We don't think that way. And I just find that so interesting. We don't know how to do it. So many pieces to that.
I think also, and, I could always, you can speak for yourself. I think women also, we're very diligent, and we're so focused on, this is what I have, this is what I'm working with. And maybe, I can make the connection to my sons, they look at something and they're like, how can I jump off this box, roll off of it, and then climb up a tower? Whereas when my mind works as, these are the parameters, I know I have this to work with, I'm going to work with this and then move forward. And sometimes, capital, putting yourself out there, going to a venture capitalist, or, promoting your business. Sometimes we're just so like, I'm doing my day-to-day, we're getting the job done. We don't, we may not reach the point of, hey, if I got a line of credit, I could then expand my business, hire more people, and do more. And that's what NAWBO is constantly trying to work on a national level, is to help women business owners realize how we can grow, how we can expand, and really continue to help grow our economy.
Yeah, I think that's a beautiful point and well put. And yeah, hopefully as younger generations come up through NAWBO, they come up with the mindset that, yes, I can access capital and I want to do that. And oh, cool. We actually have a question that I'm going to put up here and I'm going to let you answer it. How about grants? Sethi had asked, our instructor.
Oh, great. Great. So in a lot of the packages that they've been talking about, there is some grant money in it. I hate to say that definitely there's going to be grants in the next round of relief, because until I see language, I can't confirm anything. But I will say that that in some of the earlier packages, and the Democrats on the Senate side released another bill yesterday, and it would have specific grant funds. So it wouldn't be where you would have to go take out a loan. But it's all in negotiations. We don't know where things are headed. So until I see it firm, and I'll let you know if I do, but leaders are talking about it, and it is something that's been folded in some things.
Cool. Does it look like from where you're standing that nothing's going to get passed till after the election? Or I know they're trying, but I know that there's been a lot of, back and forth. So
I think, where there's a will, there's a way, but an election cycle makes it a million times harder.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, like I said earlier, I mean, no crystal ball, no magic 8-ball. I think if I shook that magic 8-ball, there would be no little thing inside it. Like it would explode. So I would love to say that I think, we're going to see something, but I honestly, years ago, I think we could predict. Not anymore.
Yeah, it has been crazy. So I think that's a good summary. Okay. I don't know if I'm going to put this all up. I don't know if you can see it, but Instructor Sethi asked, she was thinking of outside of the relief packages. This is to obtain capital. Going off your comment, is there a place on the NAWBO website that we can search for grant opportunities?
Yes,
oh, okay.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Okay. So if you go on the NAWBO website, and you can get you sign up into the NAWBO Institute. It's free to have a login. Go into the NAWBO Institute, and on the NAWBO Institute homepage, you can click on, there's a button and it says grants and COVID relief. And if you click on that button, we've put in all the different grants that you could apply for. So I would go there first. Again, that's the NAWBO Institute, log in, NAWBO Institute, and on the home page, you'll see, the beautiful, it's, what do you call it on a campus? I can't.
Oh, the building campus. Yeah.
The campus building. You'll see it. It's not even one of the buildings. It's like up front, a button that you can push at the top. Click right there and you'll see we've got a digest of everything that you can look into for grants.
Cool. Thank you. And hopefully, actually, that's useful information that I think it's helpful for everybody. So thank you for asking that question. And that's great. Okay. So you don't have a crystal ball. What are the odds that we're going to be able to do advocacy days in person next year? Because gosh, that is a great event in person, boy.
Oh my goodness. I mean, I don't have a crystal ball, but I will do everything in my power to make that happen.
I have to say, I did my first one in 2019 and I had been in NAWBO for a while, but just couldn't make my schedule work out. And oh my gosh, it was amazing. And, I feel like every event I do with NAWBO is amazing. My first leadership development training was amazing. And my first WBC, Women's Business Conference, was amazing. But Advocacy Days was incredible. Like, I just could not believe how many people you got to talk to us, this group of women, and how we filled the room, and so many lawmakers and committee members and just people from the Small Business Administration. It was amazing, the information we learned. So I'm hopeful we can do it in person.
Oh, we're moving on. We're moving like we are.
Yeah.
Nothing has changed. We're on the path. We're on the path like it's happening. But we'll have to wait and see. But we're working it like we're going to be in person and we're going to see all you ladies there. And I'm excited because in my position, it also re-energizes me to see all of y'all get energized. So,
well, and not to mention, and not that this was my favorite part, but I think UPS had the closing reception, and they have a gorgeous townhouse right near Capitol Hill. And I thought, oh my God, why do we live here? I heard our meetings here. It So nice.
I know. NAWBO should get a brownstone. No,
No, right? Why don't we have that? Why can't we use theirs? We got parties there. So anyway, no, it was a great day. So cool. Elle, any closing thoughts before we end the broadcast? So I think so. Thank you so much for coming on and for talking to us about what you're doing and what NAWBO is doing to help our membership and women business owners in general, in fact. So
of course, I'm so happy to be here. And I think the most important thing right now is get out and vote. I can't say it enough. This is the time. All of us live in this area. There are avenues, go online, go to your county website, figure out where you can vote, and go and do it early. If you've got a few minutes, go and do it early. Why wait till the day of? We can all do it now.
Cool. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for tuning
Lisa.
in. We appreciate it. If you guys have any questions, you can leave them in the comments. And if you tag me, I'll be sure to get to them. And we can always reach out and ask Elle after the fact and have her jump in or put her response there. So thank you so much. Thanks, everybody. I don't know. I'll put the schedule up for the next one we're doing. So second Thursday in November is our next live broadcast, which should be the 12th, I think. So anyway, we'll see you guys then. So thank you.
Thanks so much.